the longevity is in question since the cell merger scenario, but it appears that a tornado will be ongoing now southwest Franklin into northwest Edgewood. It appears that it will stay north of Anderson. So that's what it looks like, that it will stay north of Anderson where that tornado is. Of course, there's Pendleton there and whatnot. And there's, of course, Anderson right there. So it looks like it's going to stay north of Anderson. But Linwood, Moonville, Highway 9, Prosperity, if you know anybody in this direction, there is now a high likelihood that a tornado is on the ground.
So what you want to do is move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. The worst thing you can do is go near a window right now. You want to put as many walls between you and the weather outside as possible. And if you're outdoors or you know someone who's outdoors, get them inside to a substantial shelter so they can protect yourself from flying debris. And when you get to that lowest floor of the building that you're in, make sure you have something to protect your head from flying debris, as things can fly through the window. Excuse me, as things can fly through the window and you can be cut by broken glass. So a number of challenges out there for us with that tornado warning now in effect for Madison County, and that would going to affect a little over 17,000 people. So a highly populated area up in Madison County. That one goes until 10:15. The Wayne, Fayette, Union tornado warning, that one goes until 10 o'clock this evening over in east central Indiana. We're seeing some strong storms firing up. And we have the severe thunderstorm watch. That goes into effect until 4 a.m., so we're going to see more showers and storms out there over the next couple of hours.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. So, yeah, we were on air, and I saw it go pink, and we all know that means that tornado is now confirmed. So what prompted this to get confirmed? Why? Have we been spotted? No, we have not had a report. But I do want to pull back here on our radar here. I don't know. It may not be on the ground for a little bit. I'm not seeing a great radar signature as we speak right now, Chris. But I want to go back just a couple minutes, and you see that where Perkinsville is. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's where the prompt of the tornado warning. So I'm going to go and throw that up right now. You can see that's where the pink box is right there. So watch as that tornado warning or that little spot goes over Perkinsville, and then boom, you see that little dot that's showing up right here outside of Perkinsville. That indicates that something went over Perkinsville, got picked up by whatever it could have been, most likely a tornado, is now being lofted in the air. Radar can pick that up, and that right there will let us know, hey, something that is not supposed to be there is there, and that is what this scan does.
And that shows, that's a correlation, the coefficient showing the debris being lifted by the force of the winds moving through with those rotating storms that are now moving through Madison County. Well, we now have a tornado warning that goes until 10:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located about 8 miles northwest of Anderson, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So flying debris is going to be something that we have to watch out for over in Madison County right now with that tornado warning in effect. Now, if you look at that storm on radar, it just looks like a garden variety thunderstorm, but because we have the rotation within these storms, that is why we have the tornado threat. That is why we have that severe weather threat going on across the area for tonight.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is now I want to pull up the velocity scan here. And I kind of want to showcase this. And the rotation, I mean, it doesn't scream at you, Chris. That's like, oh, hey, this is very tight rotation. You need to seek shelter. But there is enough there where I'm like, all right, yeah, I can see it. But went over Perkinsville. And that was the scan of the rotation right there. And then it ended up getting a little bit tighter. So it's decent, but notice how I just went over that velocity here. It went right over Perkinsville. And then that spot shows up. So that possibly could indicate that their tornado did touch down, maybe caused damage in Perkinsville. And that's what ended up lofting whatever it was it picked up in our atmosphere. And that's why it got picked up here on the correlation coefficient. So that is why we now have a confirmed tornado that was on the ground up in Madison County. Looks like it's going to go north of Anderson. But it possibly is tracking to the east. Could hit Prosperity here in just a couple of minutes. Frankton, North Anderson, Moonville all need to start seeking their shelters immediately.
And one of the things we often see with severe weather here in central Indiana, you'll go through a neighborhood and you'll see one house that gets hit and then another one gets spared, and then 3 blocks away something else gets knocked down, because tornadoes, when they touch down, they don't often stay on the ground. A lot of times they'll touch down on the ground, go back up to the parent cloud and touch down at a different spot. We're putting a storm tracker on this one. It is moving through Prosperity at 10:13, Moonville at 10:22. It's going to be making its way through Yorktown at 10:35 and Gaston, Indiana, up in Delaware County at 10:42. So we're tracking strong storms making their way now into Madison County, but also moving on over toward Delaware County on that eastward movement at 25 miles per hour. Tornado warning in effect for Madison County, for the central part of Madison County, for another 20 minutes. It does go until 10:15 this evening for storms that are now moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect over a large portion of central Indiana. That goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to be tracking these kind of showers and storms for the next several hours as they make their way off to the east and to the southeast. This Madison County storm moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. The storms we have been watching down in Fayette, Union, and Wayne counties, that one was moving off to the southeast at about 20 miles per hour. So slow-moving storms, and because they are such slow-moving storms, we're getting a lot of lightning associated with them, the possibility of some hail, and slow-moving storms can give you some torrential rainfall in a very short period of time, and that can cause a lot of standing water and flash flooding. Keep in mind, when we're talking rainfall amounts at 1 to 3 inches per hour, with the storms that are moving on through, we're talking about storms that can cause a number of severe weather problems across the area for tonight, with that severe thunderstorm watch going until 4 a.m. and now a few counties under under tornado warnings. So if you're in Madison County, you're hearing the tornado sirens going off right now. That is because you have the possibility of the severe weather moving on through, with that severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado moving off to the east at 20 miles per hour. And there you see we have that severe thunderstorm watch. It does go until 4 o'clock this morning for the showers and storms that we're expecting to continue to fire up in the warm, unstable air across central Indiana over the next couple of hours. So tornado warning goes until 10:15 for Madison County. The Wayne Fayette Union tornado warning, that one will expire in about 2 minutes, with that storm making its way out to the southeast. But we're watching that confirmed tornado that was on the ground up in Madison County right now. That's the one that where the tornado warning was at first issued for the rotation. Then we had the possibility of some ground confirmation when we saw that debris signature. Where Tyler's highlighting right now is that's a rotation that moved across Perkinsville with that storm up in Madison County.
Yeah, that's right. What I'm going to do is I just want to do a couple scans here, and I'm going to time this out for you guys. So I am going to pull up correlation coefficient in just a second. I want to know if we're still getting scans, what that is looking like. But Prosperity here at 10:12, we have already had a confirmed tornado on the ground. It looks like Randy Bowers of the National Weather Service said weaker in the last radar scan, still a threat near and south of Frankton and approaching Linwood soon. So they are going to continue this tornado warning. But this is still something that we definitely need to keep an eye on, especially Frankton, Alexandria, Moonville, here, Prosperity, crossing West 600 North here. That is where that road is. So I'm going to pull up the correlation coefficient. And it might get a little confusing here, but I do want to point something out. So nothing's showing up here right now that's like indicating something is on the ground. But at one point, if you look here, look at Perkinsville. As it right over the Perkinsville, and then ended up creating this, what we call a drop in this correlation coefficient right here. It went right over the heart of Perkinsville, so possibly damage in Perkinsville. We'll have to see if we can get reports or anything like that coming out of it. But they went right over Perkinsville, ended up prompting up something there on the correlation coefficient, and then so far nothing else has come up yet on the radar. But it does not mean that we still do not have a tornado on the ground. So this is our velocity scan, and really starting to weaken a little bit, which is a good thing. I mean, it took me a second to even find out where that rotation was. But if it was anywhere, it was going to be right here. We're going over to Perkinsville, and then has really weakened, but still have the tornado warning in effect. This goes until for another 15 minutes here over into Prosperity and into Alexandria.
If you're watching us here on Fox 59, 10 o'clock news is starting right now. If you're watching us on CBS 4, we're interrupting your programming right now as we have severe weather going on here across central Indiana. We do have a tornado warning in effect for a tornado that was on the ground near Perkinsville up in Madison County. That tornado warning does go until 10:15 this evening. We had tornado warnings in effect for Wayne, Fayette, and Union counties that were scheduled to expire at 10 o'clock this evening. Those storms showed broad signs of rotation at times and stronger signs of rotation, but we didn't get any ground confirmation of anything touching down. We did get one report of a funnel cloud over in Fayette County when the storms moved on through from Fayette County Emergency Management. Now we're tracking the showers and storms across central Indiana. We have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 4 a.m. for a large portion of central Indiana. So we're going to be tracking showers and storms right on through the evening hours, right on into the overnight period. Tyler and I will be here keeping an eye on exactly what's going on and letting you know so you and your family can make the best decisions to keep you and your family safe. Best thing we can tell you to do right now is get to the lowest floor of the building that you're in, an interior hallway in the middle of the house. Put as many walls between you and the weather outside as possible, and by all means, stay away from windows. Now, one thing it does for me as a weather person, helps me tell a better weather picture when you go out and take pictures and send them to us. Let's hold off on that, because what we want to do is make sure everyone stays safe and gets through this severe weather event with as little impact as possible with the showers and storms moving on through. There's a wider look for you at Live Guardian Radar. The yellow areas indicating the severe thunderstorm watch that is now in effect until 4 a.m. The pink area in Madison County, that's where we had that confirmed tornado. It was on the ground near Pennville. We've got about 17,000 people being affected by the storm that's now making its way on through Madison County, a very slow-moving storm. Moving to the east at 25 miles per hour, and because it is moving so slowly, dumping some heavy rainfall, lots of lightning associated with these storms. We've also had some reports of some hail with these storms as they have moved on through. And I now see that the tornado warning for Wayne, Fayette, in Union County, that one has been allowed to expire at 10 o'clock. So another 15 minutes to go, then another 13 minutes to go on the tornado warning in effect for Madison County for that storm that may have caused some damage up near Perkinsville as it made its way out to the east at 25 miles per hour. We have more showers and storms off to our southwest, some rainfall west of Greencastle, rainfall between Greencastle and Sullivan right now, heavy rainfall in northern Clay County around Clay City along Interstate 70. So we're starting to see more showers and storms firing up. Also some heavy rainfall in Lawrence County, just north of Bedford, between Bedford and Bloomington right now. Some heavy rainfall south of I-69. Scattered showers and storms are popping up across west central Indiana. Heavier storms are going on to our north. Some rainfall up in Blackford County around Hartford City. Heavy rainfall from Madison County all the way back into Hamilton County around Cicero, Atlanta, and Noblesville. So we're tracking strong storms as they're making their way across the state right now to the east at 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, I like to just continue to see the different scans coming in. So one thing that is good, that ever since it went through Perkinsville, possibly hit something, trees, a barn, don't know what. It did pick up some sort of debris signature there. It has the velocity here scan has really weakened in the last several scans here. At 10:04 was the last scan, and this is what is left of that velocity scan. At one point, it was decent, even right over the heart of Perkinsville, right there. This was at 9:49. So about 20 minutes ago, that was when it was at the strongest. We actually, at one point, even were able to pick up a debris signature. So I want to point that out and see. You see that little speck right there to the east of Perkinsville, right here. That is what prompted the pink box, which is a box that tells us, hey, there is a confirmed tornado. So possible damage in Perkinsville. We haven't got any messages. We haven't got any pictures yet of any type of damage. We've gotten plenty of videos of a lowering of the mesocyclone. Of course, that's what produces tornadoes. We have gotten several pictures of that, but we have yet to really get any type of picture of debris. We might have someone go out and check that out here in a little bit, but it would be right over Perkinsville. That is where that debris was possibly picked up. But as it continues to fast forward, really losing anything, nothing really showing up here on our correlation coefficient at the moment. So right now, doing a little reset here, Chris. 10:05 is your time. We have a tornado warning for Madison County until 10:15. Over 17,000 people are impacted with this. The rotation has weakened. there isn't really showing up anything, at least to me, Chris, on the correlation coefficient that's indicating this tornado is still on the ground. We are still carrying that tornado warning for another 10 minutes north of Anderson. This is exactly getting into Prosperity. This is where you really want to seek shelter. Moonville, North Anderson, Linwood, Prosperity here. In this section, this is where you absolutely need to be seeking shelter due to the fact that even though rotation and correlation coefficient does not look amazing right now, this cell has already have a history of producing a tornado warning.
Yeah, we talk a lot about in the weather business, we talk about a quick little spin up, and that's what we saw there around Perkinsville, with a rotating storm that as it moved across the town of Perkinsville, it picked up something that showed up on the correlation coefficient to show it was holding some debris up in the air. That is why we went from a tornado warning to a confirmed tornado on the ground due to the fact that we saw it lifting up some debris, but now we're not seeing that. So what may have happened, there may have been a touchdown up in western Madison County, and then the storm lifted back, the tornado lifted back up into the rotating thunderstorm, and the rotating thunderstorm is still in place across Madison County, and that's why we have that tornado warning for Madison County that runs for another 8 minutes with that storm that has now made its way on through. Tornado warning in effect for Madison County until 10:15. Storms are moving to the east there at 25 miles per hour, but these storms are just part of a larger line of storms that are going to be with us for the next couple of hours, and that is why we have the severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 4 a.m. across a large portion of central Indiana, as more of us are going to see the threat for severe weather for tonight. The main threat for us is going to be damaging straight line winds and the possibility of flooding due to the fact that these are slow-moving storms, dumping some heavy rainfall in a very small area in a very short period of time. But also we have some rotation in the atmosphere, so we're getting those rotating storms, and that is why we've had several counties, there have been 5 counties that have gone under tornado warnings over the course of the last couple of hours. This all began just after 8 o'clock this evening with the storm that developed over in Henry County and that is now making its way over into southwest Ohio, now approaching Dayton, Ohio. Now the storm that we're focused on is that one up in Madison County where the tornado warning does go until 10:15. We did have a touchdown on the ground up around Perkinsville. Now that storm is lifted aloft, and as Tyler has mentioned, over the last couple of hours, we'll see one scan where the storms look stronger in terms of rotation. We'll have another scan where it doesn't look as strong, so as we go back and forth with these storms pulsing up and down, we have to keep an eye on them as they make their way across central Indiana, especially up in Madison County, where we have that tornado warning that goes until 10:15.
Yeah, Chris, and Randy Bowers, National Weather Service gentleman here that issues the warnings, he just says that the current plan is to not reissue a tornado warning for Madison County. They are, of course, going to monitor closely, but very weak rotation, and I do agree with this as well. And I mean, you look at this, and it's kind of like, all right, where is it? I mean, the rotation, if anywhere, where based off the history, would be somewhere in here. You still have that little green and red speck there, but not a lot going on there. But at one point, when it passed over Perkinsville, it did pick up some sort of debris signature here on the correlation coefficient. And that is that's what actually prompted that confirmed tornado. So it's that little spot right, look at Perkinsville, right here, nothing going on, and then it went right up and you have that highlight of that little circle right there, right over the heart of Perkinsville. That is where we believe something has picked up something that is not supposed to be in the atmosphere, and a debris signature, and that right there is almost a textbook there of a debris signature right as it went over Perkinsville. So we'll have to see and get confirmation, of course, when the National Weather Service goes out and does a survey, possibly tomorrow. But that's what prompted this pink box, which, of course, indicates a confirmed tornado. But as of right now, here at 10:09, there's nothing really showing that is like it's strengthening. Nothing shows that something is on the ground. So in about 5 minutes, the plan is to let that warning expire, and they plan on not extending it. But Chris, I know we've been talking a little bit about it, even though we're going to let that warning expire, and then we can, of course, return to regular broadcasting. Of course, that would be Fox 59 News at 10 here, and later on CBS News at 11. But does not mean you can let your guard down, because we are still under a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. for the basically all entire parts of central Indiana, all because of this. if you look here on the Live Guardian radar, I'm going to show you a line of storms that is starting to develop off to the northwest. It is just very messy too, Chris. Nothing really looks defined, but you have this line up north of Tippecanoe County, up in Monticello, getting up into north of Logansport, Rochester, Winnemac, Royal Center. You have this line of storms now pushing to the southeast. Looks like Tipton, Noblesville appears to be severe now. They might issue a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like, it just went into that. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of clear the radar here. But it looks like we just got issued a severe thunderstorm warning now for the cell that's north that's prompted that tornado warning. So I'm going to go and highlight this, just kind of give an idea. So this includes Hamilton, Madison, and Tipton. This goes until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time right there due to strong winds. So I'm going to do is throw up the velocity here, Chris. And I know you just printed it off. So what was the radar estimate of the winds on this?
We got it moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. The storm is located near Elwood, about 15 miles northwest of Anderson. Main hazard with this storm is going to be damaging straight-line winds at 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Their sources, the radar indicated. Hail is expected with these storms. Some locations impacted included Anderson, Elwood, Alexandria, Tipton, Chesterfield, Franklin, Arcadia, Atlanta, and Country Club Heights as this storm is moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Madison, Hamilton, and Tipton counties until 11 o'clock.
There you go. Yep. So Nuke, Lancaster, 10:15. Elwood at 10:18. Anderson at 10:29. Alexandria at 10:30. Yorktown at 10:39. Ball State University here at 10:46. And Muncie at 10:47. That is for the severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued there for Madison, Hamilton counties as well. But the tornado warning is going to expire here in the next 3 minutes. They are not going to extend, at least that is not the plan right now. I want to take one more peek here at velocity, Chris. Kind of want to get an idea here. But honestly, I'm not seeing really anything that is showing up that would warrant them to extend the tornado warning. It looks like the rotation has really weakened, if any at all, now getting into Prosperity. But at one point, it went over Perkinsville. That is where the strongest of the rotation was. And we did get a debris signature from Perkinsville. So that is something that we will, of course, go check on. The National Service will do a survey on later on. But you have this cluster of showers and storms that is causing a little bit of a headache up in Madison County, Tipton as well. Noblesville seeing a little bit of some heavy rain and straight line winds. But this cell that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning, Hamilton, Madison, and Tipton counties for straight line winds is moving very, very slowly at 25 miles per hour. So I'm going to put on that time tracker just one more time here as we're about to go back to programming here in just a second, Chris. But Elwood 10:15, Anderson 10:26, Yorktown here at 10:39. Like I said, they're not going to extend this tornado warning as of right now, and there's nothing on radar that indicates they should.
Yeah, we've been watching this for the past couple of hours. These storms developed around Henry County when we had rotation there, made their way into southeast Indiana, and then we had a new storm develop in Madison County, and that's the one that prompted the issuance of the tornado warning for Madison County that will expire in just a few seconds. It goes until 10:15. About 17,000 people affected there. We did get a debris signature on our correlation coefficient, showing maybe the possibility of some touchdown up around Perkinsville up in Madison County. So far, no ground confirmation of any of that. Nevertheless, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that will go until 4 a.m. this morning across central Indiana. So we're going to see more showers and storms out there. Hopefully we'll get some rainfall and avoid severe weather, but that's something we'll be keeping an eye on. These storms are moving very slowly to the east, to the southeast, 25 miles per hour. And because they've been moving so slowly, they're giving some heavy rainfall out there, lots of lightning associated with these storms as well. And now the tornado warning has expired across central Indiana. So on CBS 4, we'll let you go back to your regularly scheduled programming. And on Fox 59, the news starts now.